Okay, assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So I will be presenting the introduction for our group. Our project is AI chatbot for general knowledge. So basically, what we have been developed a chatbot that should be capable of conversing with human or its environment, and the human can use this chatbot to ask queries for certain information. Then the chatbot will search the information from the Wikipedia. So basically, that's what we do. So this bot is called the conversational agent, and for our coding, we using the pre-trained models in Transformers library and using the ticket inter based graphic user interface for the user experience with the human. So this is the overview for our chatbot's components. So the chatbot will have two pre-trained model. The first model is the summarization model, and the second one is the queries answer model. The summarization model is used to summarize the information that the our bot get from the Wikipedia. It shorten the information to amount that is digestible for the human to understand. Second one is the queries as a model. The queries as a model then take the summarization model result and then parse it again until it become shorter for human to understand what it is. So this is the bots model that we get from the Transformers model library, and then we using the Wikipedia data integration as our data, and then we use the Ticket Integer UI for the interfaces between user and the. Okay, so that's all part for me. I will pass to other brothers. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Uh, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Azmi Fazail. Uh, I will present about the teacher overview. So first and foremost, for what we found from the teacher overview is that the definition of chatbot, which is chatbot, simulate human-like conversation using natural language processing (NLP). So one of the genes of chatbot is Eliza. So Eliza is embedded psychometrist using pattern matching. You have Perry, and then you have also Elise, Smarter Child, and then modern era. We are using deep learning and advanced NLP to actually do chatbot, and then it can actually understand context, sentiment, and complex direction instead of just um, talking or instead of talking and just giving responses. So one application that you can do is customer service, education, and healthcare. Next, so for summation of the mobile model, we have first BARD. So BARD is selected for summation based on selected based on for summarization. It handles text summarization especially effectively. We don't. Unlike the researcher that we listed here, which is budget at all, we don't use reinforcement because we use lightweight use case. Next is question answering model. We use DistilBERT. It's a lightweight version of BERT, built for efficient and fast response. Um, uh, it's actually inspired by Rao et al., which actually use BERT for medical chatbots.
Thank you for the presentation. Next, we will move to the methodology. Firstly, we have chosen language model training because language model like GPT has demonstrated exceptional ability to comprehend and produce writing like humans like. Because these models are trained on variety data sets, they are able to understand linguistic subtleties. Because of its capability to process and produce logical response, we decide to use language model training. Next, Wikipedia is a comprehensive and well-organized information source. To expand our language model knowledge base, we use data from Wikipedia. This method guarantees that the model have access to the current and trustworthy data. Our goal is to increase precision and applicability of the model replies by using Wikipedia data. Next, creating a soothing, intuitive experience for the user is the main goal of our user interaction design. Our focus in creating responsive, interesting, and user-friendly experience. This involves making the system good as possible and comprehended user input, producing pertinent answer, and offering a positive user experience. Next, we'll move to the flowchart. For the flowchart, first we will start the application, and a welcoming message will be put out. Next, the user will type in their question or query into the chat box input field. Next, the program will find the relevant Wikipedia page. The program use tokenization question of the search for the identity of the most relevant Wikipedia page. Uh, Wait a second. I forgot to tell about the pre-processing of the text of the user input. They will start cleaning and normalizing the text and tokenization of the text. Then they will find the relevant Wikipedia page. After that, they will summarize the Wikipedia page. The content from the relevant Wikipedia page is summarized to generate a concise and informative response. This involves extracting key information and presenting in readable format. If the user have more question, it will loop to when the user input another question. If not, user can enter stop to exit from the application. Next, we will move to the results. Firstly, as you can see, this is the main page of our main UI of our chatbot. They will have here a welcoming message and how to exit. Then the user will input the question, and the Wikipedia bot will prompt out the answer. Next result is more chatbot summarized answer. This is the answer that the chatbot give when you give them another questions. This also is the same for the third time. And here, as you can see, chatbot has replied, sorry, the Wikipedia page could not be found. This is what happened if the page cannot be found, an exception handling. Next, here, as you can see, not another, this is a user trying to exit it. That's all for my part. Thank you.
So next, for discussion, we actually do the performance evaluation for the chatbot. So the strength is that it can handle simple queries and retrieve relevant Wikipedia data page. One of the struggles that I actually have is struggle to find Wikipedia with specific topics like Java programming language, and some response time take very long. That is longer with complex prompts. With complex prompt and very long prompt, we can actually lead to increase response time. Um, it's possible cause is probably because we use two separate models and use pipe learning. That leads to additional processing time and latency because you have to send data between multiple models, right? So overall, the chatbot offers a functional user experience with room for improvement in handling more complex queries. So next, solution and feature development for chatbot improvement. We're supposed to actually use a single model for the model. So we shouldn't use two model and pipelining. Is to reduce the time execution and improve efficiency. Then train data locally. So instead of using pipeline approach, where we feed the data into like online API, we train data model locally to decrease execution time and optimize performance. Lastly, direct Wikipedia training. We actually import the data from Wikipedia library from Python. So actually should use directly from using Wikipedia data. So it has more accurate information even for well-known topics like Java programming. So because we can avoid pipelining and we can avoid relying on Wikipedia data set from Python. Yeah, because we don't need to clean using pipelining method. And lastly, deployment. So we are planning to do web application development so they can actually be used by users. And then next we can have cloud server set up. The AI can be hosted in the cloud server so that people can train. It can be trained iteratively by user. And then model improvement. We can actually use user feedback, verify response, and enhance accuracy. And lastly, deployment consideration. We must actually ensure stability, scalability, and security through rigorous testing. So we actually should test the model before we deploy it, and optimize this. We should actually optimize it. No need, because like we say that the response time is very long. For some response, different response, very different response, so it should be very fast, very seamless for user experience. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum. I am Irfan Adib, and right now I will demonstrate our Wikipedia chatbot. So this is a simple GUI for the chatbot. You can see that here we will have the space where we will have the conversation with the chatbot, and below here we have the field that we can input our questions. For example, I ask this question, and then we click send, and then in the space here the chatbot will return the relevant Wikipedia article according to my question. Let's ask another question. Okay, sometimes for the question that we ask, there are not always the relevant Wikipedia page for the specific question. So if the chatbot cannot find any Wikipedia page, will return the Wikipedia page could not be found. Also, if we ask a an ambiguous question like this, for example, why, without it's not a complete sentence, for example, and if I click send, you say that our query is ambiguous and it's more, I will suggest what thing that we can ask. And for example, we also put a threshold in which if the question does not exceed a threshold and does not exceed a certain amount of characters, the chatbot will also return will ask for more details in the question. So this is an example of the chatbot that we made. But sometimes it's not always the quickest in finding the article, for example. Will ask this question. You can see that it takes a lot longer than the previous questions that we asked previously. It can be that um, the Wikipedia chatbot cannot return um, articles that are not within their area of abilities or expertise. For example, that I asked Python programming, um, it returns quick answer, but for something general like what is chocolate, it may take a lot longer, even though for us it is a simple question that we can immediately answer. You see that it is still loading, and also there's definitely room for improvement. And now you can see that it has returned an answer, the relevant Wikipedia article for the question. You can see that this is not actually the full Wikipedia article. We designed the chatbot so that if the Wikipedia article exceeds a certain length of sentences or words, it will summarize the article using the uh, summarizer model, or we can say that it is a line that we use from the BARC model. So we'll summarize the article into more compact words or sentences. And lastly, if I want to stop, I can just put an exit, and that's it. Um, I think that there's definitely room for improvement, but it is a good learning experience for learning natural language processing and machine learning in general. That's all from me. Thank you.